What's good, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Cutman Podcast with your boy, Austin Cardish. Man, did UFC not disappoint this past weekend? Hey, it lived up to all the hype that was surrounding it, and I enjoyed myself. Even went out and got like a projector and just felt like I was in a movie theater with how I set it up. Shit was crazy, and hey, man, shout out to Dana White and not only them, just the whole White House staff and everybody for doing everything they did and how they set everything up and how it panned out, just perfect. Except for rain. It had a little rain, but it was perfect other than that. But man, I like the fact that they had like mostly military in the audience and kind of just let them have the seats, and that was pretty cool. But hey, on this episode, we're going to get into all that and all the fights and how it all went down, as well as some Knicks basketball defeating the Spurs for their first championship in 53 years. And man, did Brunson go crazy. But we'll get into that. Brennan Sorsby, he's not going to play college football anymore. He's thrown himself in the supplemental draft, and we'll get into that as well. As well as a couple other topics, including the big news that Rod Wave is going to release an album in August, which I'm excited for, man. It's been too long, so we'll get into all that, and we'll come out just out of the gate with UFC, man. Like I said, UFC card did not disappoint. You had everything from flyovers, which was just top notch, so cool. Wish I could have been there, honestly, because it looked so cool. Now, y'all was wanting to throw politics out there and everything else and make it about that. It wasn't about that. It's about sports, man. It's about just, and it wasn't even just about sports, man. It's about just having an all-around great night. You know, you got UFC, you got the military getting their appreciation. Now, here's the thing that I did not like. I didn't like two things about this card. I didn't like that it was on Sunday because Donald Trump's birthday. Now, if you're a UFC fan, you know fights usually start on Saturday night and end in Sunday, but they started out Sunday night at 8 o'clock. And, hey, we all had to work Monday morning, so we had to stay up late. And then there was a little rain delay. So I didn't like those two parts, but, hey, stayed up for it. Didn't get much sleep, but, hey, still rocked with it. And I'm glad because, like I said, this fight card did not disappoint. And the one big thing that I really liked was the fact that Dana White had Medal of Honor recipients and first responders walking each fighter out. I thought that was pretty damn cool. As well as the U.S. Marines band, man. Like, listen, that band did not disappoint. And they sang most of, if not all of the walkout songs for the fighters. And hey, I don't know who's the singers in the Marines band, but hey, they did their thing, and especially for Sean O'Malley's walkout. There was a lady out there just singing it from start to finish, just execute so well, man. So shout out to the Marines, man. Who knew they had such a great band? Like, I didn't. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do, but hey, shout out to them for putting on one hell of a performance at the White House. And hey, you know the nerves had to be there because you're in front of Donald Trump and you're on TV with like millions and millions. So shout out to y'all for execute, man. We got roosters in the background, but yeah, man, we're gonna start out with the first fight, and we're gonna go from main events to the lower card and talk about that. And we're gonna start with Ilya versus Justin. Now, listen. I did have Ilya winning this fight, but man, did Justin go crazy. And he showed just how tough he was because he took some vicious liver shots in this fight and it looked like he could have been knocked out. But man, no. So, like I said, it looked like Justin could have been knocked out and finished with these liver shots and some of the just shots that he was taking from Ilya. But Ilya just, when he got him hurt, here's the thing. Ilya got him hurt, and then he takes him to the ground, which was a mistake. I think he could have finished on his feet and won the fight. But hey, shout out to Justin, man, for hanging in there and pulling it out, getting his belt. The thing is, it was a really good fight, just back and forth. You know, it looked like Ilya might have underestimated Justin a little bit. Like, he respected him enough, but just he expected the fight to be like a little less in terms of time. And Ilya got destroyed, man. I think they said he broke his orbital and everything else. Could barely see out of both eyes. Doctor almost stopped the fight. But, hey, Ilya was tough and stayed in there until round 5 when his corner ended up stopping it. Now, here's the thing. He won round 4. And I believe it was, like, neck and neck in terms of, like, score. Like, each fighter had 2 rounds. And it was going to come down to round 5. But the thing is, Ilya tried to take Justin down at the end of round 4, and it backfired because Justin got out of it and ended up hitting him with a vicious knee to the side. And, yeah, that ended up being what stopped the fight. And, hey, shout out to Justin, man. He showed how much of a dog he had in him and how tough he was as well. And it's not like he didn't get touched, because after the fight in the press conference, they said he was, like, popping Tums back to back and just saying how much his liver hurt. So he didn't get out of that fight unscathed. But hey, shout out to him. The only thing that he did wrong though is when he did his backflips off the cage. He did one backflip, landed it, which was pretty cool. But then he tried for a second backflip and landed on his neck. So that could have been terrible. But yeah, shout out to Justin, man. And like I always said, you have the trolls in the comments of my clips, like, oh, you said Ilya was going to win. And then, yeah, and I said Alex was going to win too. But I've also mentioned how the UFC's, you can't really predict it. Anything can happen. It takes one shot to win it. And ultimately, it ended up being a knee to the body that ended up ending it for Justin. So, hey, anything can happen, man. Anything can happen, like I always said. And shout out to Justin. But, hey, I did get all the fights right except for the main events. So I must know a little something, But, yeah, with that, let's move on to Pereira and Gane. Here's the thing. Pereira and Gane, it's so controversial right now with some of the strikes that Gane was throwing on Pereira. And there's tape out there that kind of backs it up, as well as pictures of, like, welts on the back of Pereira's head. And it was kind of talked about, like, Pereira was going to, like, appeal the decision. But he ends up saying, nah, it's whatever. Let's get over it. And I liked it because that's, just own up to it. Regardless of how you feel about the outcome and this and that and yada yada, you still lost and you can't change it now. You can't. And maybe if appeal went through and you got to overturn, but that's a what if. Now Pereira just didn't look like he was on his game. And here's the thing about this fight that was annoying me. All throughout this fight, everybody's talking about Pereira's ass. Literally, they're like, even Joe Rogan's like, it looks like Pereira's got 40 pounds in his ass. It's like, bro, what are we doing as men? Like, let's not talk about another dude's ass, let alone stare at it. And I was like, I don't want to hear that shit. Like, he put on, I think it was like 80 pounds. So if that ratio is right, you're saying that he put half that weight on there. It's like, let's just stop that part. But now Pereira didn't look like he was on his game, but I think it's just not getting a feel for the weight class. Obviously coming up another weight class to try and fight and win a belt. I thought he could have done it if anybody could have done it, but Gane, regardless of how you feel about the decision in the fight and shots that he put on Pereira, he still came out and was, on his game. And I think Pereira and I think Ilya as well are going to bounce back in big ways because you needed losses like this to bounce back. And Pereira's had losses like this. He got knocked out by Izzy and others as well. And he's always came back. So I assume Pereira's going to come back even stronger and get a feel for a weight class, and he probably gets the belt. If I'm not going to lie, I think he gets the belt. Now here's the thing with Pereira that I didn't like. I didn't like coming into the fight. Everybody's talking about goat this, goat that. For me, regardless if he would have won or not, I still had John Jones as the GOAT. And that's just, it's not necessarily a dig at Pereira. It's just, giving John Jones his flowers and just thinking about it, man. It's just like some of the fighters John Jones had to come through. Pause. But he had to fight on the way up. Like John Jones, to be a GOAT, he had to fight the likes of Rampage Jackson, Lyoto Machida. You got other big names like Gustafsson, whatever his name is. But yeah, Jones had to fight the Rampages. He had to fight the Gons, and he made him look like he was like not even good. So, Pereira losing just kind of confirms that John Jones is a GOAT. And like I said, he had to fight some dogs coming up. So John Jones was always going to be my GOAT, regardless of the outcome of this fight. Now, Pereira, here's what I'm thinking. Pereira, a couple more fights, a couple more wins, I think he could be in that conversation. But I think y'all are, like, rushing the idea that he was the GOAT. And it's like, I get why. Like, if he would have won his third weight class, But, I mean, it's not that simple. It's really not that simple. So, but yeah, Pereira ends up getting beat, second round KO. Some thought it was a fight that Pereira should have won just based off of opportunity for DQ. Regardless, it doesn't matter because the fight's over. So, hey, go learn from it, Pereira, get better, and come out and try and win that belt, man. And then O'Malley and Zahabi. That's the next fight up. Round 2 KO for O'Malley. Now, Zahabi didn't look that bad, in my opinion. He did try and do a lot of leg kicks to try and get O'Malley to kind of like, I don't know, just kind of stop pushing him. And, at the end of the day, O'Malley did his thing. He was ready for round 2, and he comes out and just knocks him out, man. And it was such a badass knockout for O'Malley because he comes out, puts him on his ass, and like he slumps him, he goes down, he gets up, and then O'Malley hits him again and all that, and he at the same time he hits him and he's falling, he sits there and does a salute, like a military salute, and the crowd went crazy. But yeah. But yeah, no, O'Malley's knockout salute was kind of crazy and kind of badass, man. And there's a lot of controversy surrounding that as well. People said it was stopped too early, but I mean, come on, it's O'Malley. He would have rocked him with a couple more shots, and honestly, it protects the fighter. So, O'Malley did his thing, man. And I was worried about it at first because he was playing games and stuff, and this was like Friday night, so I was thinking the card was Saturday, and I was like, the night before your fight, you're on the game. But I see why now because it was Sunday night card. But yeah, Zahabi, I think he has potential. Now, the thing I did like about Zahabi, I thought was really cool, was he had GSP in his corner, George St. Pierre. And if you're not hip to George St. Pierre, you do not know anything about UFC. Let's be honest. That's one of my all-time favorites. And I think Zahabi's gonna have a couple good runs in this industry. So we'll see how he bounces back and whatnot. O'Malley's already wanting Peter Yan for the belt, but I think Merab is going to get that fight, and then he might have to fight Merab again, and he did not look good against Merab with that wrestling. So we'll see how that pans out and see what's next for O'Malley. But hey, he should have either Merab or Yan, in my opinion. And then the next fight. Listen, there's a lot of controversy surrounding this fighter, and I talked about it last time. Hokit versus Lewis. Now, Hokit, his post-fight interview, nobody liked, but hey, it is what it is, Regardless if you don't like him outside of the octagon or in the octagon, he still shows up. Regardless of the smack talking, he backs it up. And he ends up let's be fair, it was a landslide. Derek Lewis is a dog, don't get me wrong, but he was like wobbling the whole fight, looking like he could have been knocked out. And Hokit ends up finishing with the round 2 KO, and I thought it should have been a lot sooner, honestly. I thought Hokit had him stunned, and he just didn't press him, finished him fast enough. So, hey, like I said, regardless if you like him, don't like him, Hokit shows up and he backs up everything he says. And there's rumors like swirling like, should he be released and should he not? And hey, you can't release this guy, man. Let's be honest. You can't release him with the way he's fighting. And we'll see what's next for him. You know, he's talked so much shit about Pereira. I wouldn't mind seeing Pereira go in and fight him. And I think Pereira, that'd be a good fight for Pereira, honestly. Come out, fight Hokit, potentially win, get a feel for the heavyweight, and then go on for another title fight. So, but yeah, round 2 KO. We'll see what's next for Hokit. Lewis, man, I hate to say it. I hate to be that guy, but I don't think Derek Lewis has that many fights left in him. He is older. I assume he's going to take a couple fights that like he could probably win to make him look a lot better. But hey, man, I think he may have like 1 or 2 fights, and it is what it is. And then we're going to move on to Nickel versus Dacus here in a second. I'm going to roll this back now because it's getting a little too hot, you know. But Bo Nickel versus Dacus. Nickel finishes with a round 1 KO at the end of round 1. Now here's the thing, man. Nickel he dominated this fight. He got Dacus on the ground with his wrestling, which expected, you know. College wrestler who actually wrestled Hokit in college, but that's beyond the point. But no, Bo Nickel gets Dacus to the ground and kind of controls him. Gets a couple good shots, busts him open, and put some welts on his face. And then I don't know why, but the ref stands him up. I guess there was just not enough movement for him. And the thing is, Bo was kind of throwing some shots down there on the ground. So I don't know why the ref did it, but hey, it ended up working for Nickel anyway because they stand him up and, you know, a couple shots and here and there, and then a front kick from Nickel, and then a vicious left and a vicious right, put Dacus on the ground, and he got on top of him and finished the fight. So Bo kind of like dominated the fight both on the ground and stand up. So good for him. It'd be interesting to see what's in store for him next. I'm assuming he probably doesn't get a title fight yet. I think he still has a little more to prove. But regardless, hey, Bo was on his game, and he showed exactly how he bounces back from losses. I'm pretty sure he's won like 2 straight since his last loss. And hey, showed that he's got stand-up as well, man. I didn't expect him to come out and knock somebody out. I expected him to finish on the ground, but hey, the show he's got that in his bag too is crazy. And then Lopez versus Garcia. Round 2 KO for Lopez. Now here's the thing though. Here's the thing for Garcia. I think he looked a lot better than I anticipated him being. He's got some really good stand-up, and he put some shots on Lopez. He had Lopez kind of second-guessing himself in round 1, and then in round 2, Lopez just kind of pressed him, and he ends up connecting on a shot. He puts Garcia on the ground, and then Garcia jumps back up. Well, here's the thing. Here, let's rewind. So he pressed Garcia, right? Garcia starts throwing some random shots, and kind of just like, I don't know. Kind of gets like wild, and then Lopez connects, puts him on the ground. He gets back up, and he just starts swinging for his life. I think it was the fact that he's hurt, and he was just trying to protect himself and trying to just land some lucky shot. But Lopez ends up hitting him again, puts him on the ground, and he finishes him. But hey, I think Garcia actually looked really good, and I think he's got a lot of potential too. That was a fighter I didn't really know much about, but hey, he surprised me, and he's on my radar now for sure. He's on my radar, and I wouldn't be surprised later on in their careers if they run it back and Garcia ends up winning. But hey, say what you want. This card was insane, man, and just from top to bottom, just every fight ended up in a knockout or a technical knockout, which is really cool. And for some reason, Tyson Fury was there trying to announce something, but they ended up not announcing it. So expect some kind of crazy announcement coming soon from Dana White and the UFC regarding that. And yeah, man, like I said, it was just crazy. The rain kind of made it kind of messed it up for a second, but they ended up getting it back on and going from there. Like I said, every fight was kind of really good. It's interesting to see where kind of I didn't even talk about a fight. Shit, let me go back. And that's it's because it was a landslide, and that was a Chandler fight. Chandler versus I think it's Hoofy. I don't know how you pronounce this guy's name because they pronounce it a lot different than it's spelled. But no, the Chandler fight, man, he ends up getting knocked out round 1, and I guess it's Huffy. He just kind of dominated Chandler, man. Let's be real. And there's rumors after the fight that Chandler was dealing with either a foot or a leg injury, and I could see it because there's that points in the fight where Chandler kind of like stumbled, and it looked like his knee kind of like buckled in and kind of made him go to like a knee almost. And he did that a couple times, so I could see him actually being hurt. But regardless, I didn't expect him to win that fight. Now, here's the thing. He got his chin touched, and he goes and starts backpedaling, like stumbling, and he falls. He gets back up after getting hurt, and he just vicious spinning roundhouse kick. And Chandler couldn't do anything with it. He ends up getting that connected and put Chandler like kind of bent over, and then he just gets finished. But man, I don't know what's in store for Chandler next, but he's gonna have to be a little better. You know, he's gonna have to really be a little better. And who knows? Maybe he's at the end of his time too. We're gonna have a lot of fighters here soon who's gonna hang it up because they're just at that age. And we'll see, man. We'll see what he has in store and who he's going to verse. But hopefully next fight he can get back on track and go from there. I know Volkanovski did it. And, yeah, maybe Chandler can too. But he's going to have to step his game up regardless. So, but no. Just recap on that UFC card from the opening scene. You know, getting to watch the fighters walk out of the White House was really badass. And then, like I said, you got the Medal of Honor recipients with every fighter, as well as first responders. That was cool. The band was really cool on their shit. Especially Gaethje's walkout, man. That was crazy. Starting the Oval Office, walked out to really cool song, and didn't miss a beat, man. It just looked flawless, man. Besides the rain, the card looked flawless. And I think y'all who hated the card really just talked about like politics. It's like, let's not throw politics into everything, because if you would have put it aside, you would have been one of the, like, I think it was like 19 million. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but it was an insane turnout for viewers. And hey, shows how much UFC and the White House really came together to put on a good show. But yeah, and it's not something like that. It's going to be every year. I think Dana touched on doing something later on, and not really trying to make it like a every year kind of thing, which is cool. Like, I thought it was going to be something like a once in a lifetime thing, but they're trying to do something else, I guess. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, overall, cool experience to see on TV, and wish I could have been there, man. Wish I could have been there. We had a buddy that was almost there, I should say. Met a couple fighters there this past weekend, so man, wish I could have been there for that too. Including Volk. He met Volk, which is crazy. But yeah, man, UFC didn't disappoint. And I'm already talking way too much in this episode. But hey, that's just what it is. So with that, we're going to get on to the next topic, and that's the Knicks. The Knicks end up winning their first championship in 53 years with a 94-90 win over the Spurs. Now, I expected the Spurs to come out and win the next two after I mentioned it in the pod last week. But, hey, Spurs look like the same Spurs from Game 4. Here's the fucking problem with the Spurs, though, man. The Spurs end up letting De'Aaron Fox wreck the game once again. in Game 5. And not only that, they just look terrible. Castle made one field goal the whole game, which is terrible. Now, I get he's a rookie, but still, man, you got to come out there and you got to be better. And the idea that Harper didn't start over Fox was insane to me. And you don't even have to start him in that game, bro. You could have started Fox and then brought Harper in for way more minutes than Fox and just thrown the Knicks off. But you didn't. Now, it's a younger coach. And he's only got a couple years of experience, but hey, you still gotta try and outsmart your opponent. But regardless, man, I said it once and I'm sticking with it. I did not care who won their first ring, whether that be Brunson or Wemby. I thought both deserved it. Now Brunson gets it, and he deserved it so much, as well as Finals MVP, because the man went crazy, and he ends up getting 45 points out of the 94 points that the Knicks scored in Game 5, which is insane. And that just shows, all the hate that he's gotten was not deserved. Brunson, I mean, you got a WNBA coach coming out and talking about him years ago, talking about how he wasn't someone that they would build around and that he was too small. Hey, Finals MVP, and now a champion on a team that, he put on his back. And regardless of who all did their thing, Brunson put the Knicks on his back. And they come out flat the first few quarter or two. I want to say it's more like first quarter, because second quarter they hit some shots to get within reach. But regardless, it seemed like everything Brunson was doing was going in, man. And here's the thing. The Knicks didn't put that bad of defense on him. They were in his face. He was post fadeaway, just making it. I was like, damn, Brunson. But, man, did he not disappoint. And I don't think he's ever going to have to buy a mill in New York ever again. That's how good Brunson was in Game 5. But regardless, man, Knicks deserved it. I know their fans have really been wanting it and got it. So Stephen A's got his ring as a fan. Spike Lee, who's usually at most games, you always see Spike Lee at a Knicks game. And then at the end of the day, though, I talked about De'Aaron Fox. He might be out of town, man, and I'm surprised he's actually, I'm not surprised that we haven't heard anything from him, but I'm kind of wondering, hey, has anybody checked on De'Aaron Fox? Because I would not be surprised if they found him in a dark alley. That's just how terrible he played Game 4 and Game 5. It almost seemed like he was acting like Brendan Sorsby out there and trying to Paul Crew it. But, man, regardless, I think the Spurs will be back. I think Wemby's going to have to step his game up. Damn, someone's bumping. All right, then. I see you. But no, I think Wemby's going to have to step his game up and hit those clutch shots like he missed in Game 2, I think it was. So he's going to have to step it up regardless. Now, his defense is really good, so obviously that, if that takes a step up, you're going to be in a whole different conversation, but he'll be back. This is another loss that you got to learn from and improve yourself from. So I expect him to be back in the Western Conference Finals and probably with OKC next year. Let's just be real. And we're gonna take a second here, let the ambulance or whatever go through. Shout out first responders, man. They're doing God's work. But yeah, man. Damn, where are these sirens at, bro? Anyway, let's get back to it. But no, I don't know. The Spurs and the Knicks, did the Knicks win 4-1? Yeah, sure. But I think it was a lot better series than the records show. And hey, maybe we'll see a new rivalry. You never know. Maybe Brunson versus Wemby. Now the thing is, with this series too, Cat did not disappoint, and he held his own against Wimby. So shout out to Cat for not backing down and also helping Brunson carry the Knicks. Now he did get into foul trouble game 5, but it didn't matter. And yeah, man. Congrats to Knicks and Knicks fans, man. Y'all got your ring after 53 years. And well deserved. So yeah, man. Stop shitting on Brunson. Dude's a dog and one of the most underrated players in the league. Now he's gonna probably get his flowers, which is rightfully so. And then, hey, we're gonna stay on the little basketball for a second, and it's regarding my Bulls, man. Hey, we got us a new head coach, and it's former Spur as well, and Tiago Splitter. And I don't know really how much or what to say about this hire. Now, former player, I do like that, but I don't know how he's been as an assistant coach. And who knows? Maybe Splitter will come out there and change the whole culture and help us get back on track. We need that. And honestly, I'm open to seeing what happens. I might have to catch a few more games this season, see how it all goes. Now, here's the thing with Tiago Splitter. I'm hoping, and I'm saying this just with so much hope. I'm hoping that Tiago Splitter can bring out the full potential in Buzelis, man, because he's got so much potential in him. I think pairing him up with a top 4 pick is going to be insane, as well as Giddey, who's unselfish, not afraid to pass the ball and go after rebounds. So can Tiago Splitter bring out the best in Buzelis? I think he has the potential to do so, and we'll see, man. But if he does, that'd be pretty damn cool, because then the Bulls got something to really talk about. Now, I want Buzelis to put on a little weight and maybe a little muscle, but hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see if Splitter can get this team turned around and keep us from rebuilding once again, man. I'm sick of these rebuilds, and I know other Bulls fans are as well. We don't deserve it. But yeah, man, Bulls end up signing Tiago Splitter as their head coach, and I'm open to anything. So we'll see how that goes. And I give him a couple years, with this roster. I'll give him a couple years to figure it out. And hey, maybe he doesn't even need that. So we'll see. But good hire in my opinion. Low risk, high reward type of situation, because if nothing happens, you can always go from there and hire another one. We hire all kinds of new head coaches, but I'm just glad we didn't go back with Tibbs. Like, regardless how you feel about Tibbs, I know a lot of people hate him because of the Derrick Rose situation. I personally like Tibbs, but I think he's just like an older coach, and we need something fresh in there. So, no shade, no shade towards him, but we need something new. And hey, we're gonna get on a little football, and we're gonna get on this dude Brennan Sorsby. Now, I question if that locker room could trust him at Texas Tech this season, and turns out they probably couldn't have. Let's be real. It turns out they probably couldn't have, because he ends up hitting the supplemental draft. Now, I joke, I joke about the, not being able to trust him now, but just looking back on it, you probably couldn't have. That's just me being real, and I said it. But so Brendan Sorsby ends up entering the NFL draft and foregoing his next season at Texas Tech. Now, here's the thing I think it happened that made him choose this. I think Sorsby ended up going to the supplemental draft because the heat was on Texas Tech. And they probably started feeling it and was like, hey, man, it's getting crazy. Because the judge, like I said, the judge ruled him eligible to play, and other conferences were ready to take action against Texas Tech. And I'm sure they're like, we're just tired of drama. And regardless, Sorsby goes to the supplemental draft, and we'll see what happens from there. I know he's got a pro day coming up soon. I want to say it's in July. And then you get NFL teams there. Of course, there's probably going to be a team to take him. They say he's like one of the best quarterbacks in the supplemental drafts in the last 30 years. And regardless, man, here's the thing I don't like, though. And I mean, I don't know if I necessarily don't like it, but they say the Steelers are doing their homework. And I don't know. I think the Steelers got enough young quarterbacks in Will Howard and Drew Aller. So I don't necessarily like in that regard. Now, is he talented? Sure. But I think we already got enough on our plate to deal with. And then you got to also take a pick away. You know, maybe it's first rounder. Maybe it's a later rounder. Who knows? But regardless, I don't know, man. Brendan Sorsby to the Steelers would be kind of crazy in my opinion because of Will Howard and Drew Aller. Like, you haven't even had time to develop them with Mike McCarthy yet. And then you're already looking at another quarterback. Like, it'd be insane. That'd be a 4-quarterback room for sure because I expect Mason Rudolph to get released coming out of training camp. Or not training camp, but preseason I meant. And then go with the 2 young bucks at your backup. But anything can happen, like I always say. But yeah, Sorsby ends up choosing supplemental draft, and probably a good thing for Texas Tech. The thing is, you got to scramble for a quarterback situation. And they were already looking for one to go with the first two games. So who knows, man? Sorsby's got everybody in shambles right now. But regardless, let's move on from that, and we're gonna start on the college football and a team that I think could be dangerous within the next few years. I'm not saying they're going to necessarily win a championship, but I think UK, man, Kentucky, I think they could be dangerous within the next few seasons. Now, the fans of Kentucky seem like they're used to like a good defense for the team, and now you bring in Will Stein as head coach, who has nothing but offensive knowledge, and I think their offense is going to be really crazy. And he's got some track records with quarterbacks like Dante Moore, man. So I think their quarterback's probably going to develop really well under him, and I think the offense is going to be legit. Now, how's the defense going to look now? Is it going to stay solid and complement the offense? I don't know. We'll see. But I think that's a team that could really surprise some people within the next few seasons. And I've seen a couple videos here recently, like how he's coaching up players and everything, and it looks pretty good. And just kind of a different mentality that he brings to the team from Stoops. You know, Stoops' legendary family of coaching that he comes from. And he did really well. He had Kentucky win some big games. Now, he had Kentucky also lose some close games that they could have won. But, hey, regardless, he deserves some respect from Kentucky fans. Now, here's the thing. You got Mark Pope in basketball. You got Will Stein in football. So you got 2 new coaches replacing, I wouldn't necessarily say legendary coaches, but, well, yeah, let's say legendary. Because regardless of how you feel about Stoops, he did really well at Kentucky. And you got new faces. So Pope's already done his thing with the basketball, and Will Stein's trying to do his thing with football. So we'll see how that goes. But I expect Kentucky to start looking good all throughout campus, man, and building something. Maybe they start replacing like the Alabamas. Who knows? But I think he's going to recruit really well, and he's going to have fans in seats and excited just through and through. I'm not, like I said, I'm not necessarily saying that they're going to win a natty just right off rip. But I think over time they're going to win some big games and have eyes on them. Maybe even make the playoffs and give Kentucky fans something to talk about. I'm sure Tyler and the boys, they're ready for something because Kentucky's kind of been a basketball school the last few decades. So, hey, we'll see what happens. And maybe football kind of takes over University of Kentucky. I know some of y'all are going to be kind of reluctant to say that, but hey, Will Stein, I'm telling you, he's going to be a really good head coach. So we'll see what happens at Kentucky, and we'll go from there. But yeah, don't be surprised next few years he's got them in the playoffs. And maybe we get a Kentucky versus Oregon matchup. That'd be kind of sick. I'm not going to lie. That'd be kind of sick. But, yeah, we're going to move on as well to the Reds and one of the last three topics that I'm going to talk about. And the last sports topic. Now, the Reds. Hey, Chase Burns got to be in the top 3 in Cy Young conversations. And if not, you're crazy. Because the man's got an 8-1 record. He's got like 60-something strikeouts already. And he's rocking a 2.01 ERA. And it's just like the Reds pitching has kind of relied on him a lot. And he's put the team on his back, man. Chase Burns is legit. And I'm pretty sure he's got like, I want to say like 9 straight. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure Chase Burns has like 9 straight games where he's allowed 2 runs or fewer, which is insane. That's a sick run. And then, hey, Hunter Green, he's going for rehab right now, so we could have the 1-2 punch back in the lineup, or rotation, I should say, and that'd be insane. But yeah, Burns is holding it down while Green's out, and Lodolo, he's gonna have to get on his game. Louder's back. Ellie's in Louisville right now on his rehab assignment, so we could get him back. And the Reds just beat the Mets, man. Took 2 out of 3 from them, and hey, we could beat the Yankees. I know we've given the Yankees a couple good series here recently, so hopefully it's another game or another series that we can try and win. Now, I'm not sure if it's at Great American Ballpark or in New York. But regardless, I think the person that you got to really watch here, who's kind of hitting well right now, is Paul Goldschmidt. Now, Goldschmidt being a former divisional foe, he's got intel on the Reds, man, and he's got a hit streak going on. So that'd be a player to really watch. Now, I'm glad Judge is not in the lineup for the Yankees. That helps us a lot. But they still got players who can hit well, and Jazz as well. I think he got a couple shots the last time he faced us, so we're going to have to watch him. And Louder's running it out tonight against one of their top pitchers. So hopefully Louder's on his game, and we can pull out a game or a couple games and get the series, man. That'd be cool. Back-to-back New York teams we beat. But regardless, I'm not taking it like too much of a high just beating the Mets because they've been kind of terrible. But we did kind of keep Juan Soto under wraps, which I liked. And Chase, man, he made him look like a fool out there because Soto gets a late call in timeout, and Chase Burns like, all right. And then he like throws right at his hands and makes him swing and miss and gets him with a strikeout. And he struck out a few times during the series, so we kind of kept Soto under wraps, and Chase Burns did his thing, man. But yeah, I think Chase Burns, man, if he keeps up this tear, he's got to be like top 3. There's no doubt about it. And I'm hoping he gets the All-Star bid because he deserves it, man. And especially if he keeps it going. I mean, Burns top 2 in Cy Young in my opinion, but hey, that's conversation for a different day. And hopefully we can finally pull one off. Last Cy Young Award winner was Trevor Bauer. And, hey, he's having that season right now. I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, also, Bleday. J.J. Bleday is tearing the ball off. Cover off the ball, I should say. And here's the thing, man. I know we got Bleday on a small contract. I think it was like 1 year. But here's the thing. Everybody's kind of mentioning him in trade conversations. But what if we signed Bleday to an extension? Now, I understand a lot of people's probably like, hey, he's tearing the cover off the ball, so let's trade him while he's on an expiring contract. But we seem to always do that and not really re-sign our players. And here's the thing. Looking at our outfield depth, I mean, we got Marte, who's hitting really well right now. We got Friedel, who's struggling, and we had to send him down to AAA. And then who else we got? Steer, who's it's up and down with him. Will Benson, kind of, it's either home run or bust with him. And then we got Hector Rodriguez, who I'll talk about here too shortly. We got him coming up the pipeline. So, I mean, looking at our outfield depth, and I'm sure I missed a player or two. Blake Dunn's looked really well, surprisingly. Now, but the thing is, he's in his 30s. Now, I guess age doesn't really matter at that point, but how long is he going to keep his streak up? But no, I think you need a bat like that in your outfield for good. I wouldn't be mad at like a 2 or 3 year deal going to Blade from us, man. And I think that would only help our outfield because that would give us a bat in the field that we can really rely on. And we'll see, man. Maybe the Reds do try and reach out to Blade about an extension and they get him locked up, kind of giving us a piece like that's legit in the outfield, and seeing if Friedel can get back on his game, or if Marte can stay on his, and see what Hector does. Now, here's the thing. Hector Rodriguez is in AAA tearing the cover off the ball as well, and a lot of people want him up, but I don't want him up yet. The reason I don't want him up yet is because it seems like we call up all these prospects too soon. Reese Hines. We had Edwin Arroyo, he's not hitting the worst, but he could be better. I think he still needs time at AAA, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be sent down soon. We'll see. His defense is legit, but bat is kind of weird. But no, I think you leave him down there, maybe until after the All-Star break, give him a little more experience down there, and then hopefully he comes up and he hits well in the bigs. But no, I think you got to keep Blade with that. And then also Carson Steele. I believe it's Carson. Carson Steele, our prospect that we got last year in the draft. He's really hitting well in the Cactus League, I believe. But we'll see what he does going up through the minors and see where that goes. He looks promising. And the problem is he's an infielder. So we'll see what happens with all of our infielders, man, and see what comes to be of that. But, Steele looks really good. Rodriguez looks really good. And hopefully they do right and keep them down there for a good amount of time to get them the experience. And they come up to the bigs one day and hit really well. Now, Rodriguez, he's like close. I will say that. He's close. But I'm not mad if the Reds keep him down there for a couple more months just to give him the feel for it and then get that experience. And, maybe someone gets hurt or something. I hope not, but who knows. And we'll see from there. We'll see what happens from there, but hopefully Reds starting to turn it around, man. Burns, like I said, deserves Cy Young conversations, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get them, if not already getting them. Blade deserves as an extension, like I said. And then you got Hector Rodriguez and Carson Steele looking really good and really promising. So we'll see what comes to be of that. But yeah, man, hopefully we can take the series against the Yankees and build off of that, get Hunter Green back, get Alley back, and we can go on a tear. Maybe we even make a couple trades at the deadline. Who knows? It's the Reds. You never know what they're going to do. They're 50-50 all year until, the deadline comes and goes. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully they start doing really well and we make the playoffs. But yeah, that's really going to wrap up sports for me. We got 2 more topics. This episode's already getting long, so apologies there. But hey, it was a UFC recap. We had to make the best out of it. But the big news, like I mentioned, Rod Wave's dropping an album August 28th. And man, did we need this album. Because it's been 2 years since he dropped his last one. And from what I hear, sounds like Rod Wave, this album's going to be his last album on his deal. And he's going to be free after that. So, after August 28th and the deal or the album's out, we'll see what Rod brings to the table in terms of if he signs with a different label or if he does his own thing, man. He's talked about it. And a lot of people are assuming that that it meant like all right, let's recap it. So Rod was on an interview and he dropped the news about his album, and he mentioned that it was going to be his last. But then he goes on to talk about how it was going to be his last on his label, or not on his label, but on his deal. So I don't think y'all really heard about that. You just kind of assumed, based off him saying that his next album was going to be his last on his deal, or going to be his last, and y'all kind of ran with that. But now, Rod, last deal on, like I said, last deal on his last deal. I'm all over the place. Let's take a break. Got the Roosters telling me to take a break, but no, Rod, last album on his deal, and he's gonna be free. So that's gonna be crazy. I think he's gonna bring something crazy to the table, and he's gonna bring out some really good music and kind of do his own thing. So, hey, Rod's gonna be free here soon. But no, Rod dropping his album August 28th. It's great, man. After 2 years, we deserve an album, man. We've been all right, bro. All right, damn Rooster. Now's the time. Like, 2 topics, but no. But no, Rod dropping this shit. Rod dropping an album August 28th comes 2 years after his last one, and we've been fiending for a new album, man, and we get it finally. Now he's teased it with a couple videos, and they look like good videos, and it kind of reminds you kind of like a mob style, but we'll see what he brings to the table, man. Us Rod fans, man, I see it all over TikTok. Everybody's loving their Rod Wave songs, and there's songs out there, AI, that people are running with, and he's like, hey, this is AI, but some of these songs need to be released, Rod. Some of these AI songs need to be released, man, because they're good. They're a little too good for AI. But no, I like Rod dropping his album August 28th because NF just dropped his album like 7 months ago, and to get them kind of the same time frame, man, that's so underrated, and we needed it, man. It's like therapy from both of them. So, hey, glad to have another Wave album coming up, and he's gonna start dropping songs, I assume, here soon, and I'm ready for it, man. We all are, honestly. Wave's just different, bro. And if you hate Rod Wave, man, I don't know what's wrong with you. So yeah, Rod, get an album soon, man. Deserved. And then my last topic, it's gonna involve Fast and the Furious, man. So this year marks the 25th anniversary of Fast and the Furious, the franchise, and they're going big with it. And starting August 21st, they're gonna have Fast and Furious back in theaters. And hey, I might have to slide to the theater. I've already mentioned it to Zach. We might have to all slide to the theater and see it, man, because I didn't get to see it. Being born in 2000, I didn't get to see Fast and Furious in theaters, so that could be really cool. But I guess I do have a projector, so I could kind of set up a movie theater right now. Why wait until August? But nah, to get that experience would be kind of cool. And shout out to them, man. That's a pretty cool thing to do. And another cool thing about it, now this might sound a little corny, but they're dropping these popcorn buckets that are kind of cool. Like, one of them's like made of like, they're obviously plastic. All right. Now one of them's made of like license plates, and it looks pretty damn cool. It's got like a lid and everything. That looks like a cool one. They got one that's like a Dodge Charger, like the top of the Dodge Charger opens up like the Om's Charger. There's another one. I can't remember exactly. Oh, a nitrous bottle, like Nas. Have y'all ever drank like the Nas energy drinks? It looks exactly like that. It's pretty damn cool. But regardless, man, Fast and the Furious franchise dropping the original, the OG in theaters August 21st. That's gonna be crazy. But yeah, man, shout out to them, man. That'd be a cool experience, and I'm gonna try and go, honestly. Probably get the boys, see if they want to slide, and hey, have a good time, good night. I haven't been to a movie theater in years, man, because you just don't need it with all the streaming platforms. You don't need to go to the theater. Now a lot of people still do for their early releases and to get that experience. But hey, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that kind of wraps up the pod. At least this episode, I meant. But yeah, like I said, UFC recap was kind of crazy. Every fight was crazy. Every fight ended up in a knockout. Didn't disappoint from top to bottom. Dana White went crazy with everything in between. And love or hate Trump, it wasn't about him. It was about the UFC. And well, I guess it kind of was. I will give you all that. I guess having it on his birthday on a Sunday kind of was. But, hey, 250 years in America, I think they've made it more about that. So, hey, shout out to them showing the love to the military. That was really cool. And then, hey, McGregor's the next big fight with Holloway. And he mentioned having another fight on his contract after that. And, hey, maybe we get a Gaethje versus Conor if Conor wins. Now, I don't know, after being away for so long, regardless of your name and your image, I don't know if you deserve a title fight that fast, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe if he knocks out Holloway, he gets that title fight against Gaethje, and we'll see if Gaethje accepts something like that. If it happens, but we'll see. And, yeah, we'll go from there, but we also talked about the Knicks, like I said. Brunson deserved his ring, and Knicks fans as well. Hopefully they didn't burn the city down. I know they went really crazy again because that's Knicks fans. And I don't know who's crazier, Knicks fans or Philly fans. But hey, I don't know if I'd necessarily compete in that aspect of fandom. But hey, to each their own. To each their own. What the fuck was that? But no. This world's crazy. We're gonna wrap it up here shortly, but no, that'll wrap it up. Cause the bird's going crazy. But yeah. Shout out to y'all who actually watch the episodes and the clips and show love and support for the stream for the pod. I really appreciate that, man. And I know we surpassed like 33,000 views this past week. And my next goal is obviously 50K. It's like, I'm just grateful for how much we've already received in terms of support. Let's roll this out to end the pod because this bird is going crazy. I got a little star or something going on up there. But no, man. I'm grateful for all the support that's been shown for the pod, and that's from each episode. Whether it's 1 view, 20 views. 50 views, it does not matter. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all the love, especially the clips I put out. Y'all really love the clips, it seems. Like, that's where I get my most views. And obviously because they're shorter, people got more time to view a clip than they do a pod, and I understand that. And yeah, just the love and support I've been shown, man. I appreciate that. I hope I can only improve on this pod, man. Obviously, the timestamps I've talked about, got them on there. That improved it. And, hey, if y'all got any suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments and let me know, man. I'm always open to trying to improve this pod, man. And, hey, try to be better every day, And there's other aspects I want to improve upon that I have noticed, so we're trying to do that and only get better, man. You can only improve over time if you just keep trying and keep figuring things out. So, hey, like I said, appreciate the love and support. This episode's getting a little longer, so we're going to end it right there. And, yeah, man, if y'all like the pod and this episode, feel free to support for free with the like, and subscribe to the channel. That's absolutely free. Now, everybody here's subscribing, they think money-wise, but no. Subscribe to the channel and go from there, man. If you want to, usually I post like the pod when it's up. I'll post on my stories and everything, but if you want to be notified when the pod drops, you can turn on bell notifications. and they'll send you like a notification on your YouTube to tell you when I drop these. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all for the love and support, and hey, hopefully I can only get better for y'all with time. But with that, I'd like to say I hope y'all have a great weekend. Y'all stay safe, and get out there and enjoy life, man. Get out there, really enjoy life. You never know how short life is until the day it comes. But hey, try and enjoy it all, man, and be safe. And yeah, appreciate it, man. And until next one, peace.